Good morning, beautiful souls. Hello. So I've logged on 3 minutes early. I'm in a hotel in San Diego. And I know Jizzy's gonna pop on at some point and let me know he can see me and hear me. So I know all of you can see me and hear me. And Jizzy, just let me know. Thank you, Arnell. I appreciate you. My little side support tech guy. All right. A lot of you don't know, Arnell used to be my assistant when I did men's retreats, and he would take care of all my little tech stuff and my music and my support needed for some of the processes I would take people through. It always feels good to know, even though I'm in Palm Springs and he's in San Francisco, he's going to get my back and let me know we're working here. I love you, Arnell. Thank you. All right, so it is 6:58. We've got 2 minutes. Everybody begin to take a breath deep into your chest cavity. Make sure you're saying hi in the comments. And then just do whatever feels right to you in this moment to bring yourself a little more present. And we haven't done it in a while, but if you feel like it today, I'm just curious, what are your 2 words today? Pop those in the comments. If you just check in with yourself right now while we're waiting for others to log in, what are you noticing? What are you feeling? What are 2 words that would describe where you are this last magical Monday of June? Excuse me. And if you feel like it, pop those in the comments along with your hello. The clock on my computer says 6:59, so we'll just hang tight another 30 seconds or so, and we'll jump right in. Excuse me. All right, my clock says 7 o'clock straight up. So, again, if you're just getting here, take a big breath. Everybody, activate your I am. Activate the intelligence of your eternal soul. All the wisdom that you have accumulated through eternity as your drop in the one infinite ocean of creation, experiencing itself as you right here, right now. Breathe into that intelligence. And if you feel like it, go ahead and place your hands right there. I like to use my hands as my jumper cables. I like to feel my body. I like to feel the warmth of the energy stirring in my chest as I focus on it and I activate it and I intentionally open my mind to connect with its wisdom. That's wisdom far beyond the imprints of what this life has fed us in our mind to store as memory. This is eternal wisdom that our soul knew would be here at this unprecedented time of this lifetime on this planet to support us in these very specific ways. So just breathe into that intelligence and invite your mind to surrender itself to that just for right now. And then open your heart to receive the transmission from the words I'm sharing through the inspiration of the elders, but it's not coming from outside of you. It's coming from inside of you. Open to the wisdom that these words activate within you. It's your own wisdom. I'm just reflecting back to you, and you're reflecting back to me who we are. And Excuse me. Speaking about reflecting, as I have been reflecting on everything that we've explored together this month of June, through all the 5 messages that we've received from the elders, I've had one of those moments where several pieces of the puzzle just suddenly came together and locked into place for me. Have you ever had that happen where all of a sudden something just really shows itself to you? We've been learning something for a while now, but, well, let me say that again. We've had experiences in our lives where we've been learning something for a while, but we don't really see the big picture until one day, like, we step back and all of a sudden realize all of those individual pieces kind of quietly uh, showed up in a way that let you know you were being prepared for something else. That's how June has felt for me. And at the beginning of the month, the elders invited us to notice fear instead of unconsciously being driven by it. That was in the early message, which was 30 days ago almost. And then they reminded us underneath every fear is a deeper knowing that's been preparing to get our attention all of our life. That's big. That's in the message. If you really look at that first message, and then a week later, they challenged us to begin feeding a deeper signal, listening to the signal and following it. And in our June sacred circle, it gave us a chance to experience that for ourselves, because we just were, they told us to ask one simple question. If fear were not speaking right now, what would my deeper knowing be saying? And then last Magical Monday, I pointed out, and the one before that, none of you had trouble finding the answers when we asked that question on the first Saturday. If fear weren't speaking, what would my deeper knowing be saying? And I pointed out how quickly all of you found that answer, connected to it, because guidance isn't missing. It never has been. What's missing, and that we're still exploring, is trust. Do you remember me saying that? Then last week, following the powerful solstice energies that came in and activated a stronger bandwidth within inside of us for that deeper signal of our I am, or the deeper signal as the elders have also been referring to it, we talked about paying attention to what had become visible, what showed up. And I encouraged you all not to overlook the quiet changes that have already been taking place within you. Do you remember that? Some of you are going, no. Some of you are going, I think so. And some of you are saying, definitely. Doesn't matter. I'm just reflecting back the medicine that we've been taking all month. And as I sat with all of that this weekend in my morning meditations before I started hanging out with my family, excuse me, I realized something. Everything we've done this month has been preparing us for one simple shift. And I'll get to that. But for a while now, many of you have spent years gathering information. You've read books. Excuse me. I have my doctor's appointment tomorrow. Excuse me again. You've read books. You've listened to podcasts, you've watched YouTube videos, and you've attended workshops and retreats, even some that I've offered. And there is tremendous value in all of that. Information can lead to understanding, and understanding can lead to insight. And insight can open doors that weren't visible before that. But eventually, beautiful soul, every one of us has to arrive at this same place. And we discover that information alone does not change your life. Even understanding, it's not enough. Even beautiful insights aren't enough. Excuse me. All of that is beautiful, but none of it's enough. And some of you are standing right there. That's why I'm spending time on this today. And that's part of the pieces that came together for me. Because our lives, your life, truly begins to change at a pivotal moment. And that's when you're willing to actually live what you have now discovered to be true. You've heard me say hundreds of times, nothing is true unless we believe it, and then we create our life as if it is true. That's where transformation begins. Not ends, that's where it begins. Because what we believe and how we live from those beliefs is what creates our reality. It creates what we experience and what we live from the inside out. Not because you've learned something new, but because you finally trusted something you've come to know and have known for a while. And all of you are sitting in a knowing that you have been sitting in for a while. And I think that's what the elders have been preparing us for all through the month of June. Not for another teaching, but for a different way of living. So my question to you is, are you ready? Are you ready for a different way of living? Because you've been being prepared, and the external circumstances are going to start to shift in a way that it's going to demand it from all of us. A different way of living. And they've been pointing to it. A deeper way of living from this deeper signal that's always been there, that's been being prepared to come online softly compared to the noise of the external world. But your entire life, your soul knew it would take incarnation to get to this point, to begin this new way of living. So here's the shift. Here's the shift from this deeper place of living as the noise starts to get louder. That's the shift. Instead of immediately asking the world outside of you what is true, every time something outside of you becomes uncertain and scary because of a manufactured headline with its own agenda to manipulate your emotions, or because of a circumstance that changes your life as you've known it, a job loss, a death, a rearrangement of a relationship, regardless of the headlines that are going to scream and clamor for your attention, or life circumstances that want to convince you to stay in fear. Instead of looking outside of yourself for what is true, we have been being prepared to get quiet enough to ask ourselves on this quieter signal, what is true? We're done asking everything outside of ourselves what is true. It's untrustworthy, but we've been trained to trust everything outside of ourselves, and this is what we've been being prepared for. We got to get quiet enough feed the signal. That's what June was about. Get quiet enough and feed the signal so we could ask ourselves what is true. So we pause with a breath break. This is the shift before reaching outside of ourselves for another opinion. This is big, you guys. Stay with me. We take another breath break and return to our centers. This is the preparation we've been in for months with the breath breaks and the activation of Source breathing us. We take another breath break, we return to our centers, and we return to our bodies that everything outside of us wants to yank us out of our bodies, out of our centers. And then we ask from the deepest place of your longing to know, right? From the deepest place of your longing, you ask to the deepest place of your divine knowing, that signal that's coming online stronger and stronger from the inside. You ask that, what's actually true right now? Feel that. And then you listen. Feed the signal, listen to the signal. Then you listen for what? The next step that our deeper knowing has been quietly placing right there in front of you. The next step is always right in front of you. Because trust, let me back up. I know that sounds simple, but I also know that changes everything. That's how I live. That's what I've been trying to model to you the entire years that you've been working with me. I know this to be true. And it clicked into place in reflection of this last month, how you have been being prepared for this. Because here's what I know, trust doesn't grow by collecting more information and more answers from outside of us and more opinions. Trust grows every time we act on the guidance we've already received. Every time. Feel that. Everybody, take a breath into your upgraded command center. Feel this. Breathe into it. Breathe into your knowing. Trust grows every time we act on the guidance we've already received. And that's what I want to invite you into over the next month as we all move through July together. I'm going to challenge you before you Google, before you chat GPT or Claude, before you spend hours researching, before you call 3 friends for more input, or before you convince yourself you need one more confirmation. Pause. Immediately take a breath break and give yourself just a full 60 seconds to soften the charge of the emotion that is stimulating you and activating you to go outside of yourself, and then ask your deeper knowing, the signal that's already there, that's been preparing you all your life for right now to do this very process. Ask it. Show me what you'll show me. See, we've been being prepared for this for years. Signal of my I am. Show me what you'll show me. I'm pausing. I'm not going outside of myself. I'm not looking for one more confirmation, because anything I get from out of there is just going to influence the way my brain has been trained to process outside of myself, separate from the intelligence of the one source. That's it. It's pretty simple. Just listen to the signal. I didn't say it's easy, it's simple. Feed the signal, listen to the signal. You might be surprised how much quieter the answer is than fear, and how solid and steady and real it feels in your body when you connect after you've fed the signal. And I have a feeling July is going to be a really important month for our beautiful little community. Not because you're going to receive more information, but because we're going to practice living from a different place. You've been being prepared for this. Now it's time to practice living from a different place. And we're going to discover what happens when we begin trusting the signal we've spent all of June learning to recognize and feed. We're going to listen. We're going to listen to the signal so we can start to follow it. That's where I'm going to leave you this week. I love you tons, and I look forward to continuing this journey together as we make our way through summer and the rest of the year. And by the way, starting 2 days from now on July 1st, I'm going to be doing a new 30-day series on my personal Facebook page because I feel compelled to encourage others beyond our tribe to start connecting with their knowing. I've been posting a few teasers about it. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. And if you want, invite friends to follow my Facebook page, friends that you care about and you want to maybe support with my work. This is a super easy way for you to help your friends in this tumultuous time just start building some connection to their inner guidance. And it's just going to be simple 30 little posts to get people shifting the way they think. And of course, I want you to join me if you feel that's going to benefit you. I think it will. All right. I love you tons. Enjoy the rest of this glorious, magical Monday. And I will see you next week. Bye for now.